Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another long-term update video for you. These are all knives that I've had for at least a few months. I just wanted to let you know how they were doing. Some are staying, some are going. You can look down below. I have linked to all of the reviews of all these. I do believe I did videos on all of these, and you can look at that and see if anything's changed from then to now. So let's get going. We're just going to go left to right. I'm not going to give a whole lot of stats or anything because, like I said, there's other videos down below. Just going to give you prices and how they've been doing and, you know, what I think of them. So first up would be the Reeve Small and Cozy. This is the carbon fiber knife art version. I really do still like this. It has the Insingo blade. I think it's a great freaking knife. I was really surprised. I know it's a little smaller than the small Sebenza, and it has the finger grooves, and I wasn't really expecting it to work as well for my hand. This was a gift from a viewer. I didn't buy this, full disclosure. Thank you very much again, 1,000 times over. But it does work better for me than a small Sebenza. It still continues to. I don't know, those weird finger grooves that some people complain about just fit my hand perfectly. Yeah, no, it's not quite a four-finger knife, but four-finger knife handle. Man, everything just lands where it should, and it's really comfortable, and I really like it. It does, you can kind of front flip it. I have to get it just right, but yeah, you can front flip a little bit. Kind of cool. You know, it's a Reeve. They're not meant to be super fidgety, but this one's a little fidgety. And I just really like the small and Cozy. I like the large and Cozy too. The large and Cozy is probably my favorite Reeve. And this has just been one that I've been carrying a whole lot. But there's one downside you may have seen while I was flipping around. This is the Millet aftermarket pocket clip. I got it from Knife Center. I think it was $89. I like the guys at Millet, but this is the worst $89 I ever spent on a knife, anything. It's not great. You can see the carbon fiber insert thing is kind of, if you'll be able to get it on camera. Yeah, I think can a little bit there. It's kind of peeling up a little bit. That's pretty annoying. I just don't think it looks like 89 bucks. I can pop that off and glue it back down, and I probably will, but conversely, I may just say screw it and put the regular pocket clip back on it. It's not like any more comfortable or anything than the regular clip. It's not any less, I guess, but it's not doing anything for it, and I'm just kind of annoyed about that, and I don't know. Even if I pop the carbon off and glue it and fix it, I wouldn't sell it to anybody in this condition. If I glue it and fix it and do it a good job, I don't know, maybe I get 50 bucks for it or something like that, but yeah, not a good investment on that pocket clip. But the knife is fantastic. But it's a long-term update, so I talked to you about the upgrades I've made too, or any changes I've made. So yeah, don't buy that. I don't think they make them anymore, so I don't think I'm doing a big disservice to Millet by saying that. But yeah, they're not great. Next up, this is the Protech TR3 operator. It just looks so evil. Fruit of the Devil. I do really like this knife a lot. Got the tritium button on it. I do like it a lot, but I think it's probably had its time in the collection. Never been in love with this fish scale pattern. Somebody told me, well, just pretend it's dragon scales. This is not a bad idea. Dragons are cool, but I don't know. It's never been super in love with that pattern. There are some other operators in the pipeline. I do love the operator aesthetic and the operator idea that everything's just all blacked out and no, it shows dust really well, as you can see. No logos or anything with the tritium fire buttons. I love all that, and I love the TR3, but I just don't like those fishy scales. I think if I got rid of it, I might replace it with a regular TR3. Yeah, it's just, I love it. It looks cool, but I just keep looking at other TR3 configurations and thinking, you know what, maybe that's more me. This is a bit too badass for me. This one, by the way, goes for, I closed my own notes like a moron. Let me open that back up. 250 bucks. They are all sold out, and they're probably not going to make any more. So it's kind of a pointless long-term update, but anywho, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I think its time has passed. I have to unload like one Protech. I have a whole lot of them, and I think maybe that's the one I'm going to unload. Next up would be the We Knives Banter. This is the knife designed by Ben, formerly of Blade HQ, Ben Peterson, and it's a great knife. Everyone loved it. Everyone loved it so much that a lot of people in the comments of many videos, not just mine, said, it's not that good. You guys just like it because you like Ben. No, it's that good. It is a really excellent knife. Pretty small, but still 4 fingers, easy, very comfortable. Nice slicey blade. You know, it's a wee, very well put together. It's only $108.80 is the retail price. Not too bad at all. And it's just a great little knife. And this does find its way in my pocket a fair amount of time, especially if I just want something blue. I often wind up grabbing this. I do wish that they just made it in a black, you know, with the stonewash blade. If you want a black handle, you have to get the whole blackout thing. But yeah, nice deep carry clip with recessed screws. But this is just a great knife. S35 VN steel. You're getting really good materials, build quality for what I think is a very, very fair price and an excellent design. And it is only thumb studs. Do I have... Oh, this is one flipper. I thought I was going to have a long-term update with no flippers in it. That would have been amazing, but there is one. Yeah, but this is a great design. This is a knife I don't have any intentions of getting rid of anytime soon. It's below 3 inches, so it's completely unobtrusive to most local knife laws. So, you know, always consult your local laws, but it's a great knife, and it's one that, you know, I don't mind taking out in front of anybody. It doesn't intimidate anybody, and it's just a useful, very thin, slicey blade of S35 VN, which is one of my favorite steels for just everyday carry. And it's just a great little knife. Next up, my precious, my Demko 8020. If you guys pay any attention to the live streams or anything, yeah, I'm still loving this thing. I am adoring this knife. I was kind of excited that I realized I've had it long enough to do a long term on it now. And this is a true long term because this one does get carried a lot. It's a big old bruiser, but it's really fun to play with, and it's not that huge. I've actually found carrying it, it's really not that bad. But I'm also the guy who, I mean, currently I have a full track in my pocket. So take my version of not too big as you will. But it's just, I just love that shark lock. It's so much fun. And yeah, it's been great. And one of the things that's gone really well that I was a little worried about, but not too much, because I live in the Northeast in upstate New York, and we don't get that much problem with like blade corrosion. Car corrosion, whole other story. But no, this is 3V steel, which is absolutely not a stainless steel. Most of the first run were 20 CV, but there were a few 3Vs that slipped out like this. I think the second run that they just probably have sold through by now were about 50-50. But I love 3V. So far, this is my first real long-term experience with it. Holds an edge like you wouldn't believe. And so far, a little EDCI, well, a lot of EDCI. I was very careful with it. No corrosion whatsoever on it. So not too bad. I will admit I don't do things like cut food or anything with this, because I don't baby the blade as far as cutting, you know, thicker materials. But if it's something that's, you know, like food or whatever, I don't use this for anything like that, because I don't want to mess up the 3V. But great knife, much more slicey than I expected it to be. I mentioned that in the review, but it's held true. That's one thing I want to point out. Even though it's got a really thick blade stock and it's not super thin behind the edge, it's really slicey. And again, that 3V holds an edge like you wouldn't believe. And it looks cool. It's really comfortable in the hand. It's just a great knife. Next up, the Civivi Dogma, which probably if I'd have done this long-term update a few weeks ago, I'd be saying how great this thing is. It's $47.75 D2 steel. I'd probably be talking about how great it is. Nothing's gone wrong with it. It's just as nice and just as good as when I got it. I honestly, to be honest, I haven't used it a whole lot. Budget stuff I carry, but I have to like make myself carry, you know, for reviews and stuff. I do kind of carry more expensive stuff now. It's just kind of the way things go. I try and make sure to keep in touch with budget stuff, and I carry it for reviews to make sure I can give a good opinion on it. And there are a few budget ones that sneak in, and one that's sneaking in, and why I'm going to say I might sell this one, is because Civivi came out with something better. I'm not knocking this at all, but since the Ortis came out, the Ortis is less expensive. It's 9CR18. It's a very similar blade steel, and it's $8 cheaper, a little smaller, but yeah, I just like the Ortis that much better. That this is, yeah, I don't see a reason to keep the Dogma around. I kind of kept it around because I thought I'd be using it to do a lot of like budget battles to the death and stuff towards the end of the year, but no, I'll be using the Ortis because it's better. So yeah, unless you just really must have G10 and D2 instead of 9CR18 and FRN. Yeah, the Dogma's a great knife if you get a good deal on one, but other than that, I don't know. I'm just kind of in the not recommend. Buy an Ortis. It's better. Next up, we have the Benchmade Mini Freak. This seems to have been in a lot of videos lately, and it's just the way timing worked out because it was my most carried for last month. $273. It is not at all inexpensive by any stretch of the imagination. It's some say overpriced. I always say as overspec'd. It's S90V in carbon fiber. We didn't really need that. Probably would have preferred it being in just the M4 and G10. Maybe there'll be a version of that someday. We'll see. But yeah, even though the price is really high, you know, like I said, it was in my last month's most carried. I like it a lot. I did put a carbon fiber clip on it. This is off of Etsy. I can't find the guy anymore that I got it from. I don't know if they're even still in business. I actually got it for my 940-1. Swapped it over to this. Works fine. But the stock clip is fine. I will say a deep carry clip on this for my hands did not work at all. It digs into my palm. I learned that pretty quickly. But going back to a more standard shaped Benchmade clip, ergos are really good. It's S90V. Benchmade does a good job on their S90V. It holds an edge really long time. The carbon looks nice. It's really cool looking. And, you know, yeah, it's expensive, but I can't bring myself to sell it. I just really like it. It winds up in my pocket a lot when I need a 3-inch knife. I just find myself reaching for it. So it is staying. Actually, and I will say, I had a Benchmade Saibu and I sold it and I regretted it and got another one. And I sold Saibu again and kept this because I just like this that much better. Last up would be the Spyderco Canis. And I'm just going to say right now, best thing Spyderco made this year. The Canis was a knife that I was not super excited about. These are like $190, I think. Is that one I forgot? Oh, $192. I did look up the price on it. I was sure I had that. $192. They're not inexpensive. S30V. Yeah, it's not great. But it's Taichung Taiwan, Spyderco. They're expensive. Compression lock. And I just love it. I was not excited by it when I looked at pictures because it's got this kind of weird looking blade. But you know what? Weird looking blade works just fine. This little weight relief that they have on the spine is not an issue when cutting things. It's never been an issue for me. You have a nice hollow grind down here. It's wicked thin behind the edge. Super slicey, big old Warncliffe. Excellent ergos. And one thing that especially the Taichung plant seems to be getting wrong lately, on the compression lock, yeah, it just closes and you don't have to get your finger out of the way. There's no tab or anything sticking out there, so that's nice. Action is excellent, as you saw. It is 4-way carry, all those things. I think this is the best knife Spyderco made this year. I'm really enjoying it. Was not expecting to. Totally thought it was going to be a buy, review, and release situation, and it isn't. This one's definitely a keeper for me. It's actually going to be in another video that will be tomorrow or early next week. About you'll see it, but it's going to be in another video coming up. So that is it. That is my long-term update for November of 2020. Do another one in a couple months. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.